Basically, the theme of the talk today is reminders. And so that's kind of what I wanted to emphasize. It's just that I'm here to help remind us, help remind you, and as you remind me, that we practice, and that we keep practicing. And it's not that we need to, but it's what we do. We do keep practicing. We keep striving. And that's why we're here. And so, right, with that in mind, it becomes arbitrary what we practice and what we remind each other of. Because everything reminds us of our true self, if we open up to it. And every practice helps us to make progress if we're open to it. And so this just happens to be a couple of ways that we do it and that we can do it. And so with that in mind, here's a koan. This koan is called Khenpo's One Way. And I'll probably talk about another koan as well, like from the Householders koan book, because I like the contrast of this kind of old school ancients and then also the modern mostly women in LA who wrote that book. It was wonderful. Khenpo's One Way. A monk asked Master Khenpo in all earnestness. In a sutra, it says 10 direction Bhagavats. 10 direction Bhagavats, one way to the gate of nirvana. I wonder where the way is. Khenpo lifted up his stick, drew a line, and said, here it is. Later, a monk asked Unman to give instruction about this. Unman held up his fan and said, this fan jumps to the heaven of the 33 devas and adheres to the nose of the Deva Taishaku. When a carp in the eastern sea is struck with a stick, it rains torrents as though a tray of water is overturned. So how's that for an answer? Okay, so the essence of the koan is the student says there's one gate to nirvana. Where is it? Where is this gate? And the teacher basically just draws a line in the air. It says right here. And that's the essence of our whole practice, right? That kind of sums up everything simply. Right, this enlightenment. I heard there's enlightenment. Well, where is it? And what does it feel like? Oh, well, how are you feeling right now? Where are you right now? That's what it feels like. This is what it feels like. And so that's what we, right? It sounds like a siren. It's very annoying. Feels very annoying. Enlightenment feels very annoying right now. So it brings up this this question of enlightenment, of waking up and seeing that. And so that's part of this reminders thing, is that we're either here to be reminded, to keep striving, to keep practicing, to realize that. We need reminders. Hey, keep focusing, keep going. You're doing a great job. Keep going. There's farther to go. You're gonna see this. You're gonna get it. And that striving from that perspective, we do need reminders. And then once we see it, we go, oh, I was asking where it was, and now I just realized that it's here right now with me. Right? That's the only shift that happens. Oh, now I realize that it's this, and this sucks a lot, and sometimes this is great, right? But this is it. Whatever this is it. And I need reminders. Oh, this is it. I get frustrated. Oh, this is it. I get ahead of myself. I get impatient. I get judgmental, and I need reminders. Oh, I am it. I am everything I'm judging. I am everything I'm frustrated with. It's all here within me. It's all I have. It's everything. I have a center. I can come back to this, being here now. And it helps. So whether we're seeking enlightenment or whether we realize enlightenment, either way, we're here to be reminded. It never ends. Enlightenment doesn't mean we never need reminders anymore. Enlightenment means now we need reminders about how to let that go. Awakening is not the end of suffering. Awakening gives us the key to open the door to the end of suffering, but we still have to turn it. We're the ones who have to continually keep turning that key that we have now. But the awakening itself is not the enlightenment or the realization. And so here we are, right? We're here reminding each other, celebrating this fact that we need reminders. And we are reminders. I'm going to look at the Kindle here for the, let's see. This koan from the Householder koan is called Solitary Angler. One day, as she was relaxing in her favorite chair, Kodo flipped through a book and came upon Ma Wan's 13th century Chinese painting titled The Solitary Angler. In the painting, a lone fisherman sits at the bow of a wooden boat in the middle of a vast lake, his fishing line dangling over the side of the boat. Kodo cried out, that's me as I truly am. But I am not yet that. How do I become that? So the Solitary Angler koan is, right? It's like a young person. I don't know. I assume it's a young person seeing something and going, "Whoa, that's like it's like deja vu almost," or maybe it's like feeling connected to that, like maybe in a past life. It's like, "Oh, I must have been that in a past life," or anyway, there's this like these karmic connections, right? We can feel and have that seem deeper than what's just here. A deeper connection. And so realizing that it could be like hearing the Diamond Sutra and waking up, right? It's like hearing something for the first time and going, whoa, that reminds me of myself. And so seeing this, Kodo felt a stirring deep within. She sensed immediately that there was something for her to uncover about her own being. What is this shift that Kodo experienced? Do you recall a moment when you felt a pull towards something beyond the convention? Beyond the conventional and material. Once you glimpse something beyond you and me, you can never be fully satisfied. how could she experience herself as is? Just as the painting awakened the treasure in Kodo, you too are called to know yourself at this deepest possible level. And so all of us are here, right? We we have this calling, this 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 drive to keep striving. And so what is it? What is this one way? What is the one way of awakening, of enlightenment? Well, from the most objective perspective, it's everything. Everything we do is a practice. Everything we do calls us back to our true self. And the trick of that is to be present with it, to be aware, just to be with that, which is tremendous practice. To develop the concentration and stamina it takes to be present with the fact that my life is continually calling me back to myself. That this is it. There's nothing other than this. To realize. And so, anyway, from that perspective, it's good to be reminded. It's good for us to have reminders and to remind each other. Hey, what are we doing here? Hey, what am I doing here? What am I really doing here? What is my true self doing here? And you know, part of this is putting ourselves out there in new ways. One thing I appreciate about this, you know, Thanksgiving, Indigenous Day, is the practice of putting ourselves out there with each other, of connecting with each other, and that's hard work. I'm an introvert, and I don't like really doing new things much or connecting with people socially. I do enjoy it when I'm doing it, but it takes a lot for me to get out of my comfort zone to be doing that. And it's a real practice. So for all of you who are pushing yourselves to do more, to get outside of your comfort zones, to step outside of your own boxes and do something new, to engage with people more, I commend you, and just want to show appreciation. I think it's part of the foundation of this week's celebration, right? The Pilgrims and the Indians sort of butting up against each other and kind of trying to be friends and realizing, wow, we're different, but we can also support each other, was a tremendous event in our history. And of course, you know, our history is full of terrible atrocities and as well. And this spirit of reaching out, connecting with new people, trying something new. These are all invitations to remind us who we are. I remember who I am when I see what I think is different than me, and when I experience what is new for me. So for that, I commend you all, and I encourage you and want to support you all to continue to give me reminders for why I'm here, and to remind me, you know, when I'm not doing what I need to do. It's like, hey, come on, let's go for it, right? Let's go for it together. I believe everybody's going to wake up at some point, whether maybe not in this lifetime, but at some point, everybody will. So it's not I used to be kind of like worried, be like, we have to hurry. You have to sit more. Come on. You got to do this now. Please hurry. And I'm like, well, that's so if you want to do it like within a certain time frame, then that makes sense. But once you see that it's like, it's going to happen someday, doesn't matter. Then it's like, well, do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself in the best way you can. Don't feel pressure to do more practicing. There's times and places for that, but it's not just a general thing, like just generally forever. You should always be practicing more and more. No, like we can choose times for ourselves where we have those, doing sesshin, doing workshops, intensives are times to really allow ourselves to be pushed like that. But for the most part, my attitude is often more to like, hey, you're doing the best you can right now, as we all are. Keep going. You're doing a good job. You're doing just what you need to do. Remember, right? Remember what you're here for. Without killing yourself to try to be different.